In Africa, people don't lose their sight because they're careless. They lose it quietly, without pain, without warning. And by the time they realize something is wrong, it's already too late. Today I'm going to explain why Africans lose their sight faster than anywhere else in the world and what no one is telling you. Africa has one of the highest rates of preventable blindness in the world, not because Africans are weak, not because they don't care, but because the most dangerous eye diseases don't hurt: glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, high blood pressure damage. They destroy vision silently. No pain means no hospital visit. No symptoms means no urgency. And that delay costs eyesight. Let me tell you about a man I met. He was 42, a father, a businessman. He told me proudly, "Doctor, my eyes are strong. I've never had pain." But when we tested his eyes, half of his vision was already gone. Not blurry, not red, gone. He sat quietly. Then he asked one question that still hurts to hear. "Can it come back?" The answer was no. Here's what most people don't know. People of African descent are genetically more likely to develop glaucoma earlier and more aggressively. That means damage starts younger, it progresses faster, and symptoms appear later. So by the time many Africans seek help, the disease has already won B in many African homes. We grow up hearing things like, "Our family has strong eyes. Nobody in my house wears glasses. I can see far, so my eyes are fine." But strong eyesight does not mean healthy eyes. Glaucoma doesn't care how sharp your vision is. It attacks your optic nerve quietly. By the time vision reduces, it's permanent. Another reason Africans lose sight faster is late testing. Many people only check their eyes when something feels wrong, but the most dangerous eye diseases don't announce themselves. By the time pain comes, the damage is already done. Here's the good news: blindness from glaucoma and many eye diseases is preventable if detected early. A simple eye test, no pain, no surgery, just awareness. If you're African and over 35, eye checks are not optional. They're survival. Your eyes will not scream when they are dying. They will whisper. And if no one ever taught you to listen, this video might be the warning you needed. Get your eyes checked before symptoms appear. Not when vision starts to blur. Not when one eye feels weaker. Not when it's already too late. Glaucoma does not announce itself. By the time you feel it, it has already taken something you can never get back. One comprehensive eye exam every year. Pressure check, optic nerve evaluation, visual field testing when necessary. No guessing, no self-medication, no street glasses, no waiting for pain. If glaucoma runs in your family, start earlier if you have diabetes or high blood pressure. Be consistent. If you are over 35, make it a routine, like eating, like sleeping. Your eyes are not replaceable, and awareness today is what keeps you seeing tomorrow. Now, let me tell you a story, because in Africa, stories are how truth survives. A few years ago, a man walked into my clinic, 50 years old, well-dressed, clean shoes, smelled like good cologne, the expensive one, not roadside perfume. He sat down and said, "Doctor, I'm fine. I just came because my wife will not rest." I smiled, because in Africa, when a man comes to the hospital without pain, there is always a woman behind it. His wife was outside. Beautiful woman. Soft voice. That kind of woman that says, "Please, doctor, just check him. For my peace of mind." He laughed and said, "Doctor, she worries too much. I see very well. I drive at night. I read small WhatsApp messages." I asked him one simple question. "When last did you check your eyes?" He paused. That pause was louder than his answer. Doctor, maybe 10 years ago?" I nodded. We checked his eye pressure. Silence. We checked his optic nerve. Longer silence. We ran a visual field test. That's when the room changed. Because glaucoma is not dramatic. It doesn't shout. It whispers and steals. Half of his side vision was already gone. Not blurry. Gone. I turned the screen toward him and said, "Sir, this is not fatigue. This is glaucoma." He laughed, a nervous laugh. "Doctor, please. Don't joke like that. I can see you. I can see my wife." And I said something I never enjoy saying. "Yes, but glaucoma doesn't take the center first. It takes the sides. Like a thief that enters quietly and rearranges your life." His wife held his hand. That was the first time I saw romance enter a medical consultation. She didn't shout. She didn't cry. She just said softly, "Is it serious?" And I said, "It is serious, but it is not too late." That sentence alone saved his sight. Now let me tell you something most people don't know. Africans lose vision from glaucoma faster. Not because we are careless, not because we are cursed, but because our optic nerves are more vulnerable. Eye pressure damages us earlier, and we are taught to endure instead of examine. In Africa, pain is respected, but silence is ignored. Glaucoma loves silence. Let me make this simple. If glaucoma were a relationship, it would be the toxic one, the one that doesn't beat you, doesn't insult you, doesn't scream. It just slowly removes things you love, until one day you wake up and ask, "How did I get here?" Now let's talk real life. There was a woman, market woman, strong woman, the type that carries basket, child, and insult at the same time. She came because she was bumping into people. She said, "Doctor, everybody is not keeping to their lane." I almost laughed, because in Lagos, nobody keeps to their lane. But this was different. She could not see anyone approaching from the side. She had advanced glaucoma. She had never checked her eyes. Never. Why? Because she could still thread a needle. She could still count money. She could still recognize faces. Glaucoma waited. By the time she came, we could only slow it down. That day, she said something that still stays with me. "Doctor, if I knew, I would have come earlier." That sentence is the anthem of preventable blindness. Now let me add small comedy because Africans laugh through pain. I once asked a man to come for eye check. He said, "Doctor, my eyes are strong. My grandfather lived to 90 without glasses." I said, "Sir, did your grandfather also use generator light to read at night?" He laughed. Then he came for the test. Early glaucoma, strong eyes is a lie. Vision is not strength. It is health. And health must be checked. Let me talk to you directly now. No stories. If you are African and over 35, you don't wait for symptoms. You schedule an exam once a year, even if you see well, especially if you see well. If glaucoma runs in your family, you start earlier. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or you use steroid eye drops carelessly, you don't joke with your eyes. No roadside glasses. "No," my friend said. "No, let me wait." Because glaucoma does not negotiate. And let me correct something dangerous. Eye drops are not a cure. Surgery is not magic. Laser is not reversal. What is lost is lost. That's why early detection is romance. Yes, romance. Because checking your eyes is how you stay, seeing your children grow, watching your partner smile, reading messages without fear, walking confidently without guessing. Sight is intimacy. Now imagine this. You're sitting in the evening, generator humming, your partner beside you, and darkness comes not outside. Inside your vision. That is what glaucoma does when ignored. But it doesn't have to be your story, because awareness changes endings. This video is not content. It is intervention. If this reached you, it reached you on purpose. Pause this video later. Book the appointment. Call someone older than you. Send them this message. Because in Africa, we don't just survive alone. We survive together. See well.